just set it and forget it. That's the plan, at least.
What are you licking?
Oh.
Did you take a course in that or something?
Yeah, I went to
didn't
school
say.
for this and kind of just learn it as you go too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Come on in.
Do I have to?
Yes, please. You're gonna sit next to your loving husband.
We can take that off the table.
No, you can't see. You can't see
He's
any
got
of that.
the speaker on there and you won't see it.
You won't see you can't see anything up here. I just have it so you can just see your heads.
Okay,
So-
help yourself to the candy, Jess.
We'll let, till
Yeah, I'm
when
gonna
she gets down, we'll put TJ. Don't
We'll
sit over there.
There you go.
We'll
Trying.
put that over there.
No, you're
You
fine.
see it.
Can I scoot you a little bit closer to Pop?
Yeah, or I'll sit closer.
No, you're
Give
fine.
me your arm.
See if we can get it closer.
Ah.
There we go.
There you go.
Wait a minute.
And
There
sit
you-
you up straight.
Put the
Yeah,
fat
you
lady
kinda
back.
Humpty
Hey, you want to get you from behind, or are you comfortable? Or
Can I put the pillow behind me or not?
yeah, we can put the pillow behind you.
Thank
Does that
you,
make
that's
you?
better.
Is that better?
Better.
Yeah,
Much
it's-
Very
better.
straight. Looks
Much
good.
Very straight.
Yeah.
Awesome. We're gonna make sure you
Because
guys.
in
Look.
those pictures last night, I'm all bent over, which Debbie doesn't understand. If I have to hold that, I am bent.
Want me to hold a rake and a straw hat on me?
My hat's in the garage.
I don't know if you ever remember, were you too young or not. Remember Green Acres?
Mm-hmm.
That was a funny joke.
That is funny.
Green Acres is the place to be.
Yeah.
Fine living.
All right.
Remember that
Okay.
one.
We're pretty much there. I'm just gonna slide the microphone a little bit closer. We are gonna go. Ranger, your job is to not bark. No barking, please. All right. Wow. So we're here.
Oh,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Good.
So we're just talking about mom, and don't even worry about the camera. Just talking to me, and
It's on now, then.
it's on now.
Yeah.
So we're just we're.
What do
you
you
guys
want?
are you guys are the stars of the show now.
You want to tell her about Mom?
Yeah, so let's just start it like this. Let's start with tell me about how you told Pop you were gonna have a baby.
Well, that was very interesting. We were in the house 3 weeks. We spent all our money on refurbishing the house. We had gotten a beagle. Fred gave us a dog. I went to the doctor and found out I was pregnant. He worked 4 to 12. He came in from work that night. And being a smart person, I was going to use something else. But anyhow, I said, oh, I've got something to tell you. And he said, I have something to tell you too. And I said, oh, well, you got laid off. And he goes, somebody called you? I said, oh my God, you're kidding. He says, what's your news? We're going to have a baby in July. So that was how he found out.
It's okay. That was the old house, the first house in
Yeah.
Colts Neck.
Colt's Neck.
Yeah, that we had.
So what made you want to name her Deborah?
I always wanted to name the first child Deborah.
You know, at that time, Deborah was a very popular name. I'm trying to think of that one that they had, the movie star.
No.
All the kids there were plenty of Deborahs then. I can't think of her name now.
But we named her, like Pop said, we named her the biblical Deborah,
Yeah.
Debora.
A-H instead of
And
D-E-B-R-A.
then- Yeah.
Yeah,
See, there was Debbie Reynolds, and there was another
that's
Debbie.
it, Debbie Reynolds.
Yeah.
She was a
She-
very popular star. And you know how names get everybody, so I don't know, somebody picked her.
Mm-hmm.
And here she is.
Here she is. Here she is.
So do you have any favorite stories about her from when she was a little kid?
Oh. I can't.
The rabbit
Different
foot.
things she did. Yeah, she
The
was a
rabbit-
good girl though. She was always a good girl. When they were small, they were great.
What about the rabbit foot?
they had all kinds of pets and stuff. I had a rabbit hutch, and I think we had about, I don't know, 25 rabbits in there.
She always loved rabbits.
And they were always
Okay.
out there looking at the rabbits.
But when she was in kindergarten, we have pictures of her and Ree holding the rabbits when Pop went hunting. So for show and tell, she brought rabbit foots, how you want to put it, and the tails to school. Well,
And the teacher didn't think she should brought those rabbit tails because they were real.
And they came to the house during the week to look Pop and I over to see if we were Okies or what. Because a 5-year-old little girl shouldn't be having a bag of dead rabbit feet, you know. We couldn't see anything wrong with it,
And I
you
used
know.
to bring them home ducks they had in the backyard. They'd be chasing them around there. Oh, they liked animals. We had plenty of them. We had dogs, and
What kind of animals did you guys have when they were growing up?
we had always had beagle hounds because we were my father and I were rabbit hunters. We always had beagle hounds, and then we had rabbits, and then we had ducks,
Chickens.
and we had a few chickens.
Pop worked with a man who every year for Easter gave his niece something, okay? And they lived in Perth Amboy in an apartment. So one year he gave them three ducks. So the week after Christmas, Myron shows up with Bubby, and so we now have 3 ducks.
They were little guys,
You know,
little
babies,
chicks.
little chicks. The next year we got 3 chickens. Then we got 2 rabbits the 3rd year. And we asked them specifically, now are you sure that these are not female? Of course, they told me that when, I bought them. So we were at a friend's house, and Pop had made this hutch for them. And we were at a friend's house, and when we came back, all this commotion was going on. And the male rabbit was up there, thump, 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 thumping his foot. And there were baby rabbits up there. Yes, so we had to get him out quick because
Yeah.
they're known to eat the
The
babies.
kids were always wild-eyed looking at all this all the time.
So there we were, Now we have a hutch full of rabbits. Everything that started at 2, including the ducks and the chickens, for some reason God let them multiply.
When they were
Fordham's
small,
Farm.
when they were small, when they were babies, their legs were turned for some reason. We had to put a brace on both legs
Dennis
so they
Barr
keep them
split.
straight.
Mhm.
And they were only little guys, the little girls.
Born.
And they'd be kicking that crib, boom, bang, boom, all day in there.
They said,
It straightened them out, both of them. Well, you had to
Yeah.
do that for about a year, I guess.
2 years, but they said they'd never walk.
Oh,
Okay, and
Oh.
they could stand up with that brace on and walk around
they
the whole
could do
house.
it, no problem.
Okay, when you took the
Yeah.
brace off, they
But-
didn't like it. Their feet were cold, they'd tell you.
Whoa.
But Pop took them down. Both of them learned to walk on grass. We had them down at Nana's house in Red Bank, and he took their braces off and put them on the lawn, and they didn't like the grass too much. And he would, come on, I have a lollipop, come on. And so they'd walk across. That's how they learned to walk. Their backs are straight as a board
But
to this
Deb-
day from the splints.
Debbie was a good girl when she was small. They both were. They
Well,
were.
they both were. They were good
Yeah.
kids.
She liked to laugh. She liked to dance.
Oh,
Always
yeah.
dancing around out in the yard with things. You
We
know.
had a picnic table out there, and she was always putting on a show.
Yeah, putting a show on.
What
Something.
kind of shows?
Oh, singing and dancing.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
up on the picnic table, put her hands out like, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And she wasn't even in school when she was doing that. She's like 3-4 years old. Both
Mm.
of them, they really ate that up.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so we talked a little bit about Marie too. So, what was it like raising 2 girls?
Insane.
It was fun. I thought
Yeah.
they were always into something. You know?
Daddy's girls, yes.
Yeah, they were always into something.
What one didn't think of, the other one did.
And they didn't fight or nothing. They, they weren't
No, they-
arguing all the time.
No, they
They
were
were
good
very
to each
busy.
other. They were very good to each other.
Yeah.
I have to say that,
They used to get their pen and pads, and I would tell them what I'm in a restaurant, and they would be the waitresses taking my order. I'll have potatoes.
Putting them to work.
That's right.
You tell them you're gonna have string beans, they tell you you don't have any.
Because they don't like string beans, so whatever you said you wanted, if it was something they didn't like, we don't have that.
So what kind of would you guys go on like family vacations when they were younger? Like what kind of trips would you guys do?
Well, we went off. Well, we did a lot of camping. We had
First
a big tent, and we went off did that.
well, no,
and
first we went into cabins
We rented a
Cabin.
little cabin or a
on a
bungalow
lake, yeah.
and stayed in that for the week. Usually, I took a week and we went some.
We
And
did that for about 5 years, and then we got the tent.
yeah.
But actually, the first tent we got, that's a story unto itself. He wanted to go up to the Catskills. So we went down, we bought everything new tent, sleeping bags, one cot, and the light, the whole thing. So we got up there, and they gave us a campsite right on the road. Now, Pop's idea of camping is he's going to eat dinner, real
In
food.
the woods anyway, but every time the car went down that road, you couldn't see the other side of the table.
And there was
It was
dirt,
dirt.
on it, and I told him, it's pepper, you have to eat it.
Bree was just a little baby at the
Yeah,
time
she was,
too.
yeah, 18
We had her
months.
wrapped up in the tent,
Yeah.
sleeping. And of course, they got a big kick out. They had an outhouse there, and that was the feature of the day to go there.
What was my mom's reaction to the outhouse?
She wasn't,
Oh.
she wasn't going there, remember?
I can't really see her going in an outhouse now.
She didn't like it then either. And Ree was just about potty trained, and you know who slept on the cot. So the two kids and I are on the sleeping bags, right?
On the
And
ground.
on the ground inside the tent. And we had a bucket. Pop had this
Oh,
bucket.
don't
No
tell me.
problem about the bucket.
Jesus.
So I wake up.
Had a hole in the damn thing.
So
and
my sleeping bag is soaked because when she got up to pee, she peed in the bucket.
yeah.
It was fun.
Seems
Oh,
like
no.
somebody sitting in a bucket every time I looked. And for God's sake, get off that thing. Terrible.
They weren't going to go in that outhouse for anything.
Remember the time we were driving up there with the kids? I think it was we were going to the Catskills, and I had
Yes.
about 3 flat tires
Right.
on the way,
Way
up.
What did you do with all the like?
Well, we bought another tire at
They
the
kept buying
station.
tires as we
Had to
were
get them
going,
fixed. And
you know.
God almighty.
And then that's what
What a-
happens when you don't
what a
have any
trip.
money and you're trying to take a vacation with everything. But
Yeah.
when we got back, I put that tent up on the lawn and put an ad in the paper and sold everything. That was enough. I was never doing that again.
We had a picture of Debbie there one time. Well, we've got the picture of her.
Somewhere, yeah.
It was a Sunday morning, I believe it was Easter too.
Yes, it was.
And she had this little straw hat with the ribbon hanging off the back of it.
She's
And I said,
cute
"Where the
as
hell is she?
ever.
Where is she?" She's outside there. We had a bunch of cinder blocks lined up out there. She's on top of them there dancing. And we took some pictures of it. It's really cute.
Yeah, I'm going to church, and this one
Yeah.
has got skin knees already, and
Oh.
the hat cockeyed, and the hair all over. Yeah, it was interesting.
So, wow, that's so funny. So you guys you guys camped when they were younger, and then I guess we could talk about when they got into like middle school or high school. Like, what kind of family events would you guys
They-
do when they got older?
They liked camping because we found a place called Lackawanna, right?
Yeah. But TJ said what kind of family stuff. We used to have, my family used to come over all the time, and we used to have barbecues all the time, every Sunday practically.
Every Sunday.
And the kids were in their glory, you know.
Yeah.
My sister would come, everybody would come. And then
We
they,
had the boat.
they were
on
very
the
sociable
lake.
that way,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
the kids. 'Cause they had plenty of people around them every weekend.
I didn't have to invite guests.
No.
We had family.
Yeah, we had a family.
And-
We had get together
Yeah,
all the time.
I mean, one
Yeah.
sit-down dinner was like 22 people, so immediate family.
And Patty was younger at that time too. She was always playing with them.
Yeah, and Raymond.
Yeah,
Raymond was 14.
right. They were just kids.
Yeah. Patty was 6 when they were born. So it wasn't Aunt Pat and Uncle Raymond.
Yeah,
If you
she was
really
only 8
wanted
years
to
old.
irritate Patty,
9,
you
10.
said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said
It worked out
It
good.
was really good. Plus, Lucy had the 3. Joni had
So-
Debbie McCurdy.
We had enough kids.
Doesn't take long to add them up,
That's true.
you
They
know.
had a lot of fun.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, everybody had multiple kids and
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
oh,
different
yeah,
places.
yeah.
And if they got dirty there and nobody cared, I mean, the yard was grass, of course, and we had it fenced, and they had their swings, and they had everything, but there was nothing that they could get into, you know. They were never allowed out front. That's why even in Lincroft, you know, that front door was never used. They were only, we were not allowed to play out front. You could go out back and play to your heart's content, you know, because the road was there, and we was by the Navy road there, and you had the traffic, so they weren't allowed out front.
Boom.
And they never went. They did go to, remember the time they went down to the lake, Smart Alex?
Yeah.
That was, he had locked it. See, so they couldn't go out the gate. And somehow or other, they got the lock and they were going down to the water. And they were on the dock, and the dock was on, what did you have that on, barrels that time?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he happened to look down. Somebody got spanked all the way up the stairs. Two of
Yeah.
them.
They had a lot of fun there. On that lake, they had frozen. They could go ice skating.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we went down to Fairhaven all the time. There's a little duck pond there. And we'd take them down there. And on the way home, I'd feed some ducks and grab them by the head and throw them in the trunk. The two of them were there like, oh.
You brought up the lake, and that reminds me. I was going through the home movies that Grammy gave me last summer, and there was one, and I believe it may have been your dad. I think it was you said
Pop
that
was
that
skating.
my great grandfather
The skating.
was the camera guy, and he would film the family, but
Yeah.
also film the wildlife. So
Right.
you're looking at, you can see my mom, and then you see squirrels or a duck.
That's Pop.
Squirrels.
That's
Or
Pop.
rabbits. Or
Yeah.
ducks.
That was Pop.
And
Geese.
but there was one time that you guys were all at the lake, and it was the summer, and you were like on the grass, like making sandwiches while the kids were like all like running amok around you.
Okay, yeah.
It
that
might
was-
have been Debbie's birthday. We're really
Aunt Rose
demented.
was with us then.
Yeah.
My mother's sister,
From
she'd come over
Ireland.
from Ireland. And yeah, we went down to Jackson Township and we were catching fish and cooking them and everything. And the
It was
kids were
raining
out
and-
there
Yeah, we were
making rafts and whatnot, you know, everybody busy. It was fun, lots of fun. Yeah, they had a good, I would say this, they had a good childhood. They really
Yeah.
enjoyed it coming up, the two of them, and of course we did too.
Rhea always said that.
Yeah.
She,
Went too
you
fast.
know, she looks back. I said, yeah, but there were things that you did that I didn't
Debbie was
document.
always, she was a good girl, and Ray too. Ray,
Yeah.
they were both good kids.
Well, they're
good
both
kids.
tremendous role models for, and definitely for me, but like my brothers, I know for Matt and Meg. Like, what were the kind of things that you guys tried to like? What kind of values did you guys try to like teach them when they were younger that you hoped that they would
Well,
be adults with?
well,
First of all, they went to parochial school, and we were very intent on them doing the things that they had to do with going to mass and confession once a month and all that, which was very good. And then when they got older and they were going to go to high school, Pop has a thing on fashion and merchandising, and he said, "You're going to high school to learn. Not, you want to go do dress dummies and stuff later, that's fine, but right now you have to get your education."
we always told them you got to pick something that you can make a living at. case something goes wrong later in life, that you could still get out there
Support
and make a
yourself.
living for yourself. So they both chose to be RNs, which I thought was terrific. And they went to Marymount School in Virginia. And I think they did very well, both of them. We're very happy with Debbie, and God,
Yeah.
today she's very successful, raised her
Right.
family.
Well,
and,
the one thing we always
she's
told
done
them
very
was,
well.
you can do anything. You can put your
Encourage them,
mind to,
yes.
you can do anything, because even like in high school, when I had to have them both tutored in French, which I don't know why the hell they took French, but they had to be tutored in French, and they didn't like it. Well, you chose it. I didn't choose it for you, so you will pass, you know? But it was that kind of an attitude that Papa and I tried to instill in them. You don't start something and move on. If you choose it, you finish it.
But what else were you thinking about?
I wanted to kind of ask now about when she told you that she was gonna, like, I guess I asked you about how Grammy told you about how she was pregnant. Is there any kind of story about how she told you guys that she was gonna have me or Connor or Seamus?
Oh, yeah.
See, that was between her and her mother did a lot of that. I thought she talked to me about it too much.
You just showed up.
Just kind of,
Mr. Nervous here. He was a wreck when I was pregnant with the girls, and he wasn't very calm when Deborah was pregnant either. He was excited, but what I was excited about was the fact that there were going to be boys. See, I didn't want girls. I had my fill of Patty when she was growing up. Because Daddy and I, we were just going together when she was born in '52, and she was a whiner. And so I said, when I made novenas, dear God, let me have a baby, but don't let it be a girl. So what do I get? 2 girls. So I found out that you were going to be born, and then it was Connor, and then Seamus came, and I said, see, I got my boys, And Ree had Matt first, too, which was good. And there was Miss Megan. Whine, whine, whine.
the lone girl.
Yep, yep. And everybody dotes on her to this day. The princess, we call her. And
We always had a good family, though, and plenty of family around us.
Yes.
Which was good for them. They enjoyed that, so there was never.
The kids,
we were always
like you're
busy. Always busy. Yeah.
So it was the same way with you kids. You used to come down, it was nice.
Yeah.
Wasn't an easy trip. It was far from an easy trip for your mom when she was coming down those years. 3 of you in the car breaking down, and if there wasn't one thing, it was another thing.
Yeah, it was always something new challenge.
Yeah.
Now both of them have very good memories of their childhood. I've talked with both of them at length because
That's great.
Because I'm very curious. Maybe it's partially because I'm married now to Jess here, and I think a lot about family,
Sure.
and I think a lot about where people come from and like why things are the way they are, right?
Mhm.
Like you kind of just get curious about why do we work the way that we do, or why do we work so well, right? And like what are things that that you guys did, or my mom did, or that your parents did, that you felt like were like important things to teach the kids, or just like have good family values,
Well,
right.
Pop's dad was a merchant seaman, and he was gone. So Pop was really the father figure in the house for Raymond and Lucy, and then of course when Patty came,
That was at our house, though. That
So-
wasn't with the girls. So.
No. We're saying he's asking about the background that we would instill in them what And my mother was raised 2 children on her own.
Unfortunately, too, what I always think was unfortunate, when the girls were small, Debbie and Ray, I worked nights all the time, 4 to 12, and then later I did 10 years of that, and by that time they had grown up, but I missed a lot.
But they don't think so.
They mid bedtime and all that. I had to leave at 3:30, every day. So
But
you
they,
kinda,
he felt that way, but they didn't, because they said he was there in the morning with them. I mean, he was like the Pied Piper when we lived in Cold Snack. All the neighborhood kids were down there for Mr. Fordham. He'd be in the shed, or they'd be doing something, you know. And then we always ate together, even though, you know, he had to go into work. We ate or had dinner by 2:00.
when we had
Was he-
snow, we'd take them all out
Oh,
on the
God.
sled and
Yeah.
spin them around, and you know, they had their little hats on them, and they'd be sitting there together, and I'd start that thing going around. It's gonna be flying off the back.
He was really a devil. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a lot of fun that way.
Yeah.
Well,
But
anyway.
even in high school, when they were both in the band, you know, and they loved it. They-
Debbie
they-
played a tuba,
Yeah.
and the
She
teacher
was
said
good.
she wanted to go to college to what? To learn-
Music. For
Mom
music.
Mom said to her, "How many people you know make a living playing a tuba?"
She wasn't very pleased with me because I
Yeah.
said to her, I was looking in the want ads, and I said it was just full of looking for tuba players.
I think we had some pictures of her.
Oh,
Debbie,
yeah, I have
with a
those.
uniform on, the big tuba wrapped around her.
Marie with the bass drum. So, you know, they picked like small instruments.
Marie with the bass drum.
No flute players.
No flute players. That was Lucy's kids. Yeah. Yeah.
Marie was walking down West Central, wherever they had that parade.
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, St. Patrick's Day. And she had the big drum, boom, boom, and she had a can of beer on the top of her drum.
Budweiser.
She is lucky she didn't get in a lot of trouble.
My boss let me bring in a small TV so we could watch the parade, okay? And, cause his kids went to Red Bank Catholic also. So anyhow, here we had the TV up on the rack up there, so everybody could get a look at it, watch it. And then they announced, you know, this was Red Bank Catholic from Red Bank, New Jersey. And here they come and go, and Jack, who was, I loved him to be very dry, had his hands in his pocket. And he says, "Isn't that Ree?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's Budweiser up there." I said, "Well, I don't drink Bud. I only drink Coors," you know. But
And
yeah,
Debbie was getting marching too.
yeah, they did that. I think 3 different years they were, but
Yeah.
they didn't get invited back. I
And
think
then when
they
they'd be marching, they'd be doing this with the tuba and everything to the music.
And that was in New York.
Yeah, yeah.
So the
They
big
made
Thanksgiving
the-
Day.
They made the big St. Patrick's Day parade.
Oh, St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't make that, and they played in Belmar for the big St. Patty's Day parade down there.
Yeah, the
And
school
they did
band,
concerts.
RBC.
RBC did concerts. They did very well. They did very good. They enjoyed it, and they were. I missed all that, you know, when they were gone off to college because that was fun. We went to all the football games. Remember?
Went to
Yeah,
a lot of them,
football games because the band would play. You know, even the away ones. I don't mean home. We went to Tom's River when they played down there, and Freehold, wherever they played. If Pop was off, we went. Sat up in the bleachers with the band. We had a guy that could play a trombone. He could make it almost walk. It was so good, you know. It was fun. It was fun.
I see where my mom gets it from because she came to all of our games too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just love that. Yeah. It
Hmm.
was tough. Marie went off to college then. Or when your mom went off to college, I had to shut the bedroom door to her room because I couldn't go by there. I'd get so upset because she was gone. Yep.
Does
she
she know
was
that?
gone. Oh, yeah, she knows it now, but she didn't know. She came home for Thanksgiving. You'd think she'd come home from World War II. I was so happy to see her, yeah. Yeah, well, and we went down for Parents' Weekend. We did all that, but still, when you came home, that room was empty. And then Ree does the same damn thing 2 years later, takes off on us for Marymount. So now we're really empty nesters.
So what was it like after they left? Like when that what was it? What kind of changed? I guess.
Quiet.
Well, I was able to do more hunting then.
It was.
because I didn't, I could go with Pop anywhere I wanted, at the
It
time.
was so busy.
You can push that back,
Oh no, that's fine. I didn't want to knock the camera.
yeah.
See,
Yeah.
you found time to do more hunting and
Yeah.
outdoorsy stuff.
Well, he always did it, but I was able to go now, see?
No, Marie went with it a few times, yeah. Very few
Yeah, I went
times.
down duck hunting, goose hunting. Yeah, we got stuck in the mud down there one time when Pop was brand hunting. Stuck, I went to get out of my boots and boots stayed in the mud. It's really,
We took Ree and, we stayed one
Summer.
week down in Brigantine Island.
mhm.
It's right where next to where we stayed, when they
Nice.
built the Trump Hotel, you could look out the window and see the island we used to go on all the time. And we had the kids, and the lady had two big, what were they, geese
Geese.
out there, and they
Nasty.
would go out and look at the geese all the time. Get a big kick out of that. And they were catching eels, they caught a lot of eels there.
Yeah, I cooked everything they caught.
We had lots of fun.
And we went up to where did we go up to? Flatbrookville and others.
Flatbrookville up in the Delaware Water Gap. We went to we knew a gentleman from the bank and had a cabin there, and we
Cabin there.
brought another girl up with us. So there was 3 girls, and they had a great time. They had a little boat, and they were fishing and
They
doing
all-
everything.
Also went to my brother's, that other
Yeah.
sub. We went to a
Debbie,
pack
yeah.
on. And
They had a lot of fun. They introduced them to a lot of things
yeah.
that I thought was pretty good anyway.
Well, from the time they were little, we used to go every Sunday to a trap shoot. Because for 11 years, Pop worked nights at Bendix, but Sundays we used to go trap shooting. And we took them with us. And was it Charlie Ferrillo and all those guys, as time went on, their kids grew up basically the same with us, but then he went to work at the gas company. And they got older and were doing other things.
Oh, well, I have to laugh. We're supposed to be talking about Debbie. You're talking about everything else.
Well, no,
Dad,
but it's
no,
okay,
that's what we
though.
took her.
Yeah.
It's all related though.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
see, they learned
It's
to
all-
shoot. They learned to shoot going.
It's all
Yeah.
it's all very much related because they're all things that made her who she is,
Yeah.
and not only her but Marie and you guys. And it's like, it's important, to kind of talk, just get it out, and not necessarily means that we use it in the video, but it makes sense. Like, you get in that train of thought, and we're talking about this. Oh yeah, we also did this, and when
Yeah.
she was there, like, it makes sense.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
learned. Tell them about taking her up to the lake up there with the 22s that time,
Up
behind Aunt Lucy's.
Yeah. Well, we all went way up the mountain. It's a hot day, and
We had the 22.
went all the way up the top. We had the 2 kids with us there. And I saw an old car there. Somebody had, thrown it there or something.
Abandoned.
So we were shooting down at that. Jeez, I turned around. The kids were looking too. There was another guy looking. It was a used car lot. They had put it up there since I was there. So we all ran down the hill. The kids too. Debbie and Ray running ahead of us.
Pop
We better
said,
get outta
"Run,
here."
Run. They took the 22 and ran.
Were you shooting the cars with the
It
22?
was
The
all,
kids
yeah, it was
were.
all junky car.
They were allowed to
And
shoot.
I had went up there since we had went up there since we were kids. And there was nothing up there, all the way up to the new dam, they called it. So, yeah, that's what we always did.
It
when
looked
we went
like
up
a
there.
dump. It didn't look
Well, I
like a
didn't know
used
the
car
guy had
lot.
moved
You
in
know,
there.
it was a dump.
But anyway, that's not a good story about the kids. I mean,
That's just a good story.
yeah,
That is a good story. Your father, almost got us put in jail.
He's always been good for his epic
Yeah.
stories.
epic story.
They never get old. I never heard that one before.
Oh,
I
God,
feel like I
yeah.
always hear I always feel like I hear a new
God.
crazy story.
And they were all running down the hill. She was like, all sweat, slow up, slow up. The 2
They
kids
all
are
got
going.
long legs. I only have a 25-inch seam. He's 30, 32. Each of them are like a 28 or something, I can't. I do 2 steps to their one, and they make fun of me. Then he says, well, they'll catch mommy, so don't worry about it, you know. Oh, God, yeah.
So what was it like? You know, the house in Lincroft. She said she moved into when she was like 13 or so. Am I remembering that right?
Yeah.
What was that? What was that like? Like moving them there.
Oh, it was different than where we lived before. That's for sure. Different for them too. You know,
She
all
was
of a sudden
10.
we were like in lots of room around us before, and now it's a little bit confined, and it was different. But they really enjoyed it because they had more kids and stuff that
Yeah,
they
they
did.
were closer to St. Leo's.
That was it. They went to St. Leo's. And the development had a lot of girls and boys that had went there, and they were very happy with it. It
They
worked.
could go to
I
where
think they were
could.
happier there than they were in the other one.
Well,
'cause
they
they-
both told us later
You were
on.
limited with the other one as
Yeah.
the kids to go with.
There was only the 6 houses, and out of the 6 houses, it was only the Walsers who had children, the Pattons, and the dingbat that lived next door to us, the Shields. So
Nice.
we did not have, and none of them went to St. Leo's or, you know, were church-going people or anything like that, which was fine. And Midge Quinn moved in, and she had the 5 kids. So between Midge and us, we were back and forth. It was
Yeah.
it was
They
a
were
good
limited
move.
as to the kids that they could
Yeah.
get to. So it was a good
It
move
was a
for
good
them.
move.
Good move, yeah.
That was 1968, so Debbie was 10, and
Yeah.
Bree was 8. And they each had their own room for the first time.
Yeah, that was nice, yes.
Yeah, and they slept in the same room anyhow.
In the other house, it was funny.
Yeah.
It was a small house, but there was a garage in it. It had a hip roof and a garage part. Well, we only had them 2 little bedrooms, and they were tiny. I mean, these bedrooms were about Marie's office,
That was
or
small.
maybe a little small. They weren't very big.
9 by 9. Nice.
So we took the garage and we put a floor in it and closed it in, put a couple windows in there, and made it their room out of it. The only thing was they still had the dryer in there. But they really enjoyed it. They had their own room now, a big room, you know? And it
They had the
worked good
TV in
for
there
them.
for
Yeah, they
'em.
were very happy with it. Yep, they had their own TV. Did they have a TV?
They had the
I
old
don't
TV. Remember the old console that we
Did
had?
know.
And we put that in there because we had gotten a new one because something was wrong with the old one, and a
Oh.
friend of Pop's fixed the old one. So there was, and they had Mom should tell you, they had a line drawn in the bedroom when they get mad. So only one of them could really see the TV because of the way it was situated. They were a piece of work, the 2 of them, believe me.
And in the winter,
Oh God.
we didn't have heat in that bed. Like it's like having this porch here, you know,
Yeah.
closed in, and they're sleeping out there. Well, I cut a hole, put a vent in there for the heat to go
So
go
they'd
in,
have heat.
and we'd leave the door open. But it was cool in there for them. We'd
I
have
also-
put all blankets on top of them.
They were funny.
They did good. They did very well.
When they had,
Yeah.
we got our first Labrador Retriever.
Yeah.
He was 4, and
We had him. We always had the little beagle dogs, but this Labrador, all of a sudden, to them was it's big. And I went to
It's
the
only
car
4
and we
months.
picked them up, and the 2 girls were in the back, and they were like, the door was like,
so big.
whoa! Was a bigger dog than they were used to.
Yeah.
But we had
They
labs
loved
ever
it
since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny though, because I used to have a thing about put your shoes in the closet. Put your shoes. I don't want them on the floor. Well, nobody ever bothered their shoes until we got our first Brandy, and he ate the backs off the shoes.
So what made you want to get a lab? What made you want to change from beagles?
Oh no.
Duck hunting.
I always wanted a lab. I always thought it was a beautiful dog. And I didn't really change from beagles. I had the beagles.
Kept the beagles till
We had them for a
Maycroft.
couple of years after we just got the lab too.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a type of dog. I remember I had seen one down the river, and I said to the lady, "Isn't this a beautiful dog?" She said, "Oh yeah." Well, anyway, make a long story short, she called me up. She had a family that she had
I
sold the
bought
dog
one.
to, and they didn't want it anymore. The kids
4
were
months
afraid of it.
old.
So we went and got it, and that was how we got started with it.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful,
Beautiful dog.
Mhm.
Yeah.
dog. Yeah,
But she didn't eat Marie's shoe. She only ate Debbie's.
and they loved it too.
And that's
They
something.
did.
That's so funny.
It is.
I'm gonna check my camera really quick just to make sure it looks okay. And
Okay.
I don't really have a whole lot more that I wanted
I think we.
to ask about, but
Well, we're getting a divorce in another month. if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
interested.
We are divorced. I have to go home soon.
What are you going over to the river house?
I gotta go home.
so if you had to like you
What?
said go ahead. You were gonna say something.
Pardon me?
You were gonna say something?
Did I do anything?
No, I was gonna say you were gonna say something.
Did I do staple?
No. be quiet.
I can't.
He's got the hearing aids in and
You were
You got him on.
you were gonna say something.
Well, I didn't know whether you were continuing filming.
Oh no, it's still recording.
It is?
I was gonna ask you said earlier that it went really fast. Like them
It
growing up,
went-
like it went really
It
fast.
went fast.
Yes, it did. It did. Life goes faster than you think. Anyway, the girls grow up, and next thing you know, you wonder where you're going. You know, goes fast, very fast. The children come, and you'll think back, and you say, "God, I wish I did more with them than I did." You know, you do. I think everybody does. So
If you're a good
you're
family,
giving
I
them
think,
for a
right.
short time, and then you gotta let them go.
That's
That's
what they
it.
say. They're like birds. You're in the nest, and as soon as they get their feathers, they fly away.
Yeah, and then they, well,
And
that's
that's
nature.
hard,
That's
you
the
know?
way it is.
But we've been blessed.
Oh,
because
we're
we
very
have
blessed now. We're blessed
you
right here
kids,
now that your
your
mom
mom's
came
closer.
down here. You know, and it's worked out good. Worked out beautiful, in fact. And Rhea's very happy in Florida now. So
You can't ask for any
you
more.
never know.
I know she loves having you guys here. She
Yeah.
talks about you guys all the time.
She drives me nuts. She'll tell you that.
You drive her nuts too.
I
so
know.
it works.
I know. It's unbelievable.
It's
Everybody says that. Boy, you two. I said, hey, she doesn't like me to tell it as it is, and of course I don't want her telling me as it is. So there
Well.
you go.
you both have that gene.
Yeah.
Have you given her or Rhea any advice on like how? Because now she's now an empty nester, I guess you could say. I mean, Seamus is in school. He will be back next summer, but who's to say he doesn't find a job or an internship, and it might be his
Right.
last summer here. Like, have you talked to her about like?
Well, I've told her what I'd like to see her doing now. And Pop said the same thing. I'd like to see her start taking some time for herself with her and Jerry, and start taking care of her health because she works terribly long hours. She's up there 5:30 in the morning. Seamus isn't here. There's no reason for that, but she's geared for that, and she can't even sleep because she's got to get her reports and this and that. And I worry about her. Pop worries about her too. I want to see her enjoy life. I really do.
Well, I
Yeah.
think she is. I think that Debbie always has a little mind of her own.
Oh,
She's gonna
She's
do
been
certain
driven
things,
since she
and
was
she
a
does
kid.
it.
you know.
She's been very successful in what she's done, and
I can remember in grammar school, both of them had a problem. The problem with Debbie was it had to be finished. Whatever she was doing, it had to be finished. And I can remember Sister St. Pius saying to me, tell her it doesn't have to, when it's done, it's done. If they had a test, you're only graded on what you did or something. Now, Ree, on the other hand, her problem was she didn't finish things either. Why? She wouldn't erase. Now, they asked Debbie the questions, about, the questions she didn't finish, because she's trying to be very neat, with everything. And Sister said, she knows the answers. I said, the problem is, it's got to be just so. Ree would not erase. Sister Loretta Marie said, you see her in there, and then she's starting over again, So that was just something in them, and they're both like that today, okay, which I think is wonderful. They do not leave things, important things undone. Your mother's got to have those reports done. She's got to get the stuff to the post office. She's got to, if there's something going on with you kids, she's got to be there for whatever. And that's a wonderful trait. I don't think it's a bad trait.
Oh yeah, she's a determined woman.
Right, and Rhea's the same way, you know. And you're not going to break them. I don't think I tried when they were little. So believe me, no,
They're happy. That's
they're
what
happy
counts.
and they're good. They're good at what they do. Who would have
Yeah.
ever thought your mother, who used to just be working here, there, everywhere, would own her own business today? Okay?
She's done very well for
And
herself.
every time
yes.
you turn around, she's got another case. That's what I told her. So you got to start to relax.
Yeah.
That'll come. That'll come.
She has all the big ones here. She's got the city of Ocean City. She's got
Yeah.
all the schools. She's got PGH, the hospital.
Yeah.
She's got Purdue.
Yeah, that's true. She's got a lot of accounts,
Mm-hmm.
but that's
Well, she's done very well, and I'm insanely proud of where she's at. So,
She's proud of you boys.
Just
You've
the-
done
just-
good.
you, the three of you boys. She can be very proud of that.
Yeah.
The three has turned out to be very good. Yep, and that's a
Feather in her cap,
feather in her
believe me.
cap. So believe me.
She
Yeah.
worked hard.
So
Yeah.
we're
You
very
guys
happy
are
with our
important.
daughter.
Were important from day one, and you still are. So.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Most kids, when they turn 21, we open the door and throw them out, right?
Yeah.
Get rid of them. They're done. Now they can vote at 18, but 21 they're on their own. They can drink and smoke,
yeah, right.
and now you can get pot if you want.
In Colorado,
Yeah, geez.
not here yet.
No, well, that dopey governor we had was going to sign the bill for Maryland, but
Well,
it didn't go
that-
through pot.
Oh,
Yeah, recreational pot.
Yeah.
recreational. Yeah, walk around half stone.
If you can't get, drunk as a skunk on beer, then forget
That's
it.
right.
You know.
Anyway, we're off the track here. I
now
know.
we're on to pot.
Is it still is it still filming?
Yeah, but I can turn it off. Thank you very much
I think-
for doing
Thank
this.
you.
I really, really
Thank you.
appreciate it. I know
Welcome,
she's gonna love
DJ.
it.
We enjoyed talking about it.
Good.
Yes.
That's all these things are. Like my interview. Now
I
you kind of see
understand,
like
yeah.
how for work when I do interviews, I'm taking notes the entire time, and I'm asking like a lot more rebuttal, and I dig a little bit deeper. But interviews are just really conversation.
That's
It's just
right.
really
Remember Edward R. Murrow? Did you know him?
No, he's too young.
That's
Who's
what
that?
he did.
He was on
He was,
television.
and that was pretty new at the time. He would just sit there interviewing people.
similar
His
to
only
Barbara
problem was
Walters.
he smoked so much he I don't know what happened.
Got cancer and died. That's what happened to him.
well. You know,
Very
it's
young.
it's funny. I when I was in school, I took a course called The Art of the Interview, and it was written by the course was taught by this guy named Dennis Holy, who ended up writing a book that I read quite a few times. It was like this Alcoholics Anonymous book, but basically they took stories of people who were dealing with whatever their problems were in their life, but they used this book for Alcoholics Anonymous. Anyways, I had no idea it was the same person that wrote this book that I had read several times up in the college. My mom gave it to me, right? So I'm in class and I'm like, "Are you the Dennis Holy of the Courage to Change, which is the book?" He goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh my God, you have to sign this book. I'm gonna send it to my mom because she read it a bunch of times." But he taught me. He has his own show on PBS, where he basically just interviews very influential world leaders and stuff like that. And it's not that he's especially an intelligent person or anything, but he just knows how to talk to people and just knows how
That's
to
a
make
gift.
people comfortable and like talk about issues that are hard to talk about or things that are hard to talk about. But when you can talk to them with somebody who can empathize and understand and have like a genuine, nice conversation, it's important. So
Yeah, you got to know how to ask questions and so forth too.
Yeah.
That you don't offend them.
yeah,
How to slide in and out of these things.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So anyways, hopefully this wasn't a scary thing for
Yeah.
you guys or anything.
No.
Hopefully it was really fun.
We're
and-
for, the funny thing is,
It's made me very nervous.
stop it.
You did not look nervous.
You know, well, I laugh because how many mornings do we sit here talking about them?
Oh.
About Debbie and Reed, about what they're doing now, and I mean, we're constantly talking about them. I said to your mother one day, "Do you have a headache?" She said, "No, why?" Oh, I said, "You should have been here this morning," you know, because it's a little like going back to when they were kids, and like Marie and Kathy Quinn were like this, okay, and they cut each other's hair.
Every parent
They
does
fed
that.
him. Remember, they had their little thing set up on the driveway. Only it was stones. They were serving tea and cookies.
Yeah, well,
Well, he had whatever and gave them their couple of pennies. Marie didn't eat the stones. Kathy did. She ended up in the hospital with a blockage. You know, yeah. So I mean, it's you can laugh at the stuff that they did.
this,
You know.
you're talking about Debbie. We're not talking
No,
about.
but that was Ree and Kathy, and then Debbie and Marie. They played beauty parlor,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
they had bangs that went like this
Yeah.
when they got through
Yeah.
cutting in. Where'd you get the scissors?
Beauty parlor.
Yeah,
This guy's head up listening to everything. Yeah.
He loves it
He's
here.
got a little piece of fur sticks out over his nose. Yeah. He can take a scissor and cut that.
well, no, that's
Looks
his
like a little mustache.
That's what it is.
He likes to stick his face in
I
little
know,
corners.
I know. He's listening.
He's a cutie pie.
Well,
He's a cutie.
you've done a great job there, TJ.
Well, thank you very
Yeah.
much. You guys were awesome.
Oh,
So thank you.
thank
That
you.
was fun.
That's
Yeah.
that for that for this. Yeah. So I'm gonna
Keep
interview
going.
everybody else over the next couple months. And,
Sure.
You know,
That'd be
Good luck.
nice,
whenever I'm in
yeah.
and out. You know.
Boy, you'll
so-
have an awful lot of long film. You'd be sitting there all day looking at that.
That's kind of my job.
You do a lot of chopping.
Yeah.
Sure, you have to.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah. That's part of the business, but you know.
yeah.
I
But it's
love it.
interesting. It's good for you. It's good for, to answer questions and ask questions and see what kind of responses
In other
you
words,
get.
you're a good guinea pig.
Sure.
Yeah, poking
Yeah.
you.
Well,
Well, I like that I can make things that people can enjoy and learn, and
Sure.
You have.
and that's what I like to do, you know.
and
So,
everybody likes to look at themselves doing something.
Sometimes,
So,
yeah. yeah,
It's
sure.
true. It's true. That one you did at the Army General, that was very good.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice one. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's his job, and
Yeah.
he does it well.
Thank you.
That's
We saw
important.
showed us a thing on this. What is it? Was it MGM? And they had a thing of short subjects. It was by these women that made little short
They said
movies, say
short
10
movies,
minutes.
Yeah.
And stories, just like you're doing there. Yeah, it was different.
It was
short
different.
things. Yeah,
Yeah, it's what I love to do. It's what I want to do for the rest of my life, really.
yeah,
Just
It's good.
tell more stories about interesting people and different places, and
certainly.
Yeah.
you know, for folks who don't have the opportunity to talk to these
To
people or see
travel,
them,
right.
Yeah,
or people who might need some extra inspiration in their life or something, you know, like that video about the army doctor would be totally worth it if I
Yeah.
find out one day that somebody saw that and said, you know what, I'm gonna go do something different, and did
Mhm.
something and were successful, you know,
Right.
and all the work and effort that went into making that video will be worth it if it helped one person do something
right,
better
that's-
for their life.
That's
So
what
that's the
it's
kind of
all
the way I
about,
try to look
yeah.
at all of the things I make.
Well, you always remember you made the film up at the farm, and then what happened? You lost it or something.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
we made a movie at the farm, and it was all on one hard drive, and then it fell down a flight of stairs, and it broke. And I sent it to the company to see if they could fix it, and they were able to fix it, but all the files were messed up, and we lost everything.
Mm.
So it was really too
You had
bad.
all the kids there and everything.
Mhm.
You had
Yeah.
a good crew there.
Yeah, we had a big group, but
Yes,
it was
you
it was
did.
still a fun weekend. But it was too bad the way that happened. But
Yeah. I know, because you were quite enthused about it.
Yeah, I
there.
was.
Yeah.
But it happens, you know. That's part of the trade.
Things happen, TJ.
Now I have put everything on 2 hard drives.
Good. And you always have a
So if I
backup.
break one, I have a backup somewhere else.
Yeah. I meant to tell your mom, I don't know if she saw it in the paper, but 2 of your cheerleaders, I guess they were from Broadwater, were chosen to go in the parade yesterday.
Oh, fun for Macy's Thanksgiving parade.
Yeah,
That was cool.
but it didn't say where. Now, we thought, remember that they had girls from all over. Cold? Are you cold?
Yeah, but I'm fine.
No, because he's got the windows open in the bedroom and the bathroom, and we have no heat on in here.
Yeah.
She's cold.
I could turn it up a little bit.
You could shut the windows
Yeah.
back there
It's
now.
okay.
No, you're freezing.
Give her a sweater or something.
No.
I'm about to take them out anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pack up the camera.
I gotta.
It's
Do you
2:30.
have to let that run out now?
No, I mean, I'm sorry. I'll turn it off. Pop's very concerned about the camera.
Very concerned.
Afraid about what he's saying is going to be recorded.
It's off.
Blackmail.
You don't have to worry about it. It's off.
That's great, TJ.
Blackmail.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, the camera, this we're looking at here is like between the camera and the lens and the tripod and all that, it's like $18,000.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty
Buy
crazy.
a car, yeah.
But it gives a beautiful picture
Does the
and
job.
it does the
see?
job, and you take care of it, you know.
Yeah.
So, but
Now, somebody lent you that, you said?
yeah, my job. It's
Oh,
basically
okay, it's
so
part of
this is
the
the
company.
camera I film with all my documents. So like the
Yeah,
one on
yeah.
the doctor that you saw, this is the one I filmed it on.
And they let you take the. Well, you have to if you're going to go in
Yeah,
there.
so I it's like part of my job is maintaining the equipment, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like just
well-
taking care of it and
Well,
fixing
they're
it.
letting you tell you it's an
Right.
expensive piece of equipment.
Yeah, it's all insured, so if it breaks, it can get fixed.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
still
Right.
still not.
Your
Yeah.
mommy bought putting his harness on.
He does not like his leash.
Isn't it nice though, Jess, the dogs are always so warm.
I know. Oh my gosh. He's like my blankie.
He's always warm.
So cozy.
Yeah.
He put himself to bed last night. He was so tired with the dogs. He cozied up in the corner of a couch and like buried his head and fell asleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's so
Said
cute.
enough of this nonsense.
He loves finding soft places.
He's
he
a good dog.
looks like a little teddy bear.
He's a good
He
little
is a
dog,
good dog.
TJ.
A goop
Yes,
ball.
he is.
Well, he's home with Jess, Bubby, 3 days a week, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
well,
hanging
she-
out.
she
She
keeps
takes
after
care
him.
of him. That's right. She's his friend.
Yeah, and now you can see that, though.
That's
you know.
right. She's his
I had a
friend.
laugh. You went to the bathroom. He went to the bathroom.
He follows you over there.
Followed
Really?
you, yeah. And that's okay. That's what Simba.
Marie's dog, this is fun. If she goes in the other room or closed doors, he comes down, he lays down, he's trying to look under the crack.
He does that. Yeah.
See, does.
He'll start crying too.
See what
That's
he
what
does?
he
He
does.
do that?
Yeah.
Simba does too. Cries.
He scratches. We have our doors, so you see
See
how
what you're doing.
you have a lever doorknob there. He knows how to open those doors.
Oh, boy.
If it's
He
if it's a
pulls
lever, he
He-
can jump
he's-
up and pull it and pulls the door open or pushes the door open. He
He's
knows how to
pretty
do it.
smart.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
smart. I
Well,
think.
you know, Phil had a dog that
does.
he hung like a sleigh bell on the door. And whenever the dog wanted to go out, he'd go up and ring the bell. I thought that was clever.
Yeah.
I've read about that.
Yeah.
He's not smart enough. Like if he has to go to the bathroom, he doesn't do anything. He like,
Yeah.
doesn't let. He'll just start pacing randomly in the
Well,
in
that's
the
his
apartment.
signal, yeah.
Yeah.
Bucky would go to the door, or Simba to go
Yeah,
to
you
the
had to
door
look
and stand
all of a
there.
sudden if you
And
miss
if you
the
see
dog,
him there, you go
and he
let
just
him out.
stands there.
But this other one actually took a ding-a-ling-a-ling,
Yeah.
ding-a-ling.
Cowbell.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
You wanna
That
go?
was-
But I've read that on multiple in like dog books and stuff that if your dog will go to the door, just put a bell there because chances are they'll knock into it and you'll
He's
hear
very
that.
good with
Right.
chess too. Now, see, you don't run, knock you over, pulling it out.
No, that took a while for us to stop because he would pull a
Yeah.
lot. He tugged so
Especially,
much. When he
I'll
was a
tell you
puppy.
what, that little harness he has on, he's got a lot of power.
Yeah.
He can pull. That's the reason they sometimes use chokers.
Well, so that harness, the reason why it's on his chest is that if he goes to pull, it turns him towards you and it makes him stop.
Okay.
So that because when they put it on,
I noticed that on the.
if they put it on their back, they get a lot more leverage and power and they can pull more.
That's a
But
good
when they
idea.
put it on their chest, it's called the easy harness. They found that it makes
Pulls
to
them
dogs.
around.
Yeah. So if he goes to bolt, all of a sudden he gets yoked back and he has to look right back at
There
me,
you
so I
go.
can be no, and it gives me the opportunity to
That's
discipline
a
him.
good idea.
So now I've put him on a regular leash and stuff, and these pulls have stopped. Like he doesn't tug like he used to at all.
No, see.
But we still use it because it fits him nice and it's worked so far. But
I'd leave it on.
he's
him.
probably not gonna have to wear it his whole life. But when he was
No,
a puppy, it was very useful because especially when he was little, he was so light that he could get yoked around real quick.
I know,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but like that harness was like
That works
super-
good, TJ.
He
Yeah.
was only a year old, Bubby. The
Yeah, I
terrible
know.
twos are yet to
Listen,
come.
he's very good for a year. Couple little things
Very
you get
good.
straightened out, you got a great dog.
Yeah. No, I mean, poor Jess thinks I'm on him a little bit too much, but I'm on him like a fly on shit. You know, I
Good.
make
In
sure.
the beginning, you have to.
You
Yeah.
have to
And you know,
be.
that's what I say. You be hard now. When that's what I told Phil when he had a pup. Be hard now.
Oh,
it's
God.
it's hard.
Yeah.
But I said you'll have a good dog with
Yep.
you.
If you saw
If you
Phil's
don't
dog
be-
now,
If you just let him go and pet him, always cute. He's just as nuts when he's 7 as he was when
Yeah.
he was 2.
Is Phil's dog not well behaved or?
Yeah.
4 years old, and he's not well behaved. When you go to give him a biscuit, you know, I don't know what's wrong with Pat. The dog comes over, she want to give him a treat, she drops it. He snaps.
Oh, you
He's
can't
snapping
do
up
that.
at it
You
and
know, and I
everything.
mean,
Put it in
he's
your palm,
4,
very
right,
gentle.
Palm,
Here you
yeah,
go.
yeah, that's
exactly.
right.
Let him lick it
Oh
up.
God, no! I mean, she know. In fact, she's got my dog book.
Because but
How
just
to
by
raise
that, the
dogs,
dog
yeah.
doesn't know any better. He thinks he's supposed to snap
Right.
at
I'm
it.
saying this is 4 years. Okay.
Yeah, now it's kind of worked in him.
Yeah.
now.
Those,
right.
those gun dog books I give you,
There's
they're
little
very
stories
interesting.
in
Some of
there.
them have a lot of tips about.
That's good to
dogs
know.
and
That's
stuff.
good to
yeah,
know.
Yeah, you'll enjoy browsing through.
Yeah,
them.
no, I'll poke through them.
That's right,
Jess is
you're
probably gonna drive us home on Sunday. 'Cause I
Yeah,
drove us out, so
throw
I'll
them
poke
all
through
out when you're done. But I mean,
They're,
It's
they
interesting.
got some
I tell
nice
you,
little
I like 'em.
stories in there.
No, absolutely. I'm always looking for new just ways to get him under control, but he's been
Oh,
good
he's very good.
inside the house. He listens very inside. If I told John this morning, I was like, inside walls, he's very obedient. And he listens to me great. But if we took him out and we went outside, he will not come. He will not sit. He won't listen at all. But because he's out and he's never had much. He doesn't have much exposure to this. This is the second day really. Other than the one other time he came to the farm for a couple days with Mom, but he doesn't really have exposure like this, so it's just like getting him out
What
there.
that guy, it probably is in one of your books too that you have, tells
he
you
won't
that.
sit for you outside either.
No, he won't do anything. It's like a switch
light.
went off, and if he's not on a lead or if he's not inside, he won't listen. He does not listen, and I don't. And that's the next thing I need to figure out with him is how to get that
Try
under control.
taking when you take him out on that lead. We'll say, you take him, make him walk next to you, and then you stop and say, "Sit." Get him. In other words, make him start sitting down with you.
Stay.
I did this with mine.
Stay.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
But then I would, I got so I could take him off the lead, tell him to sit, take the lead off, then walk about 10 feet away,
Right,
8 feet,
Yeah.
Turn
Right.
around. If he started to move, I'd holler.
right.
And I mean, just little things like that, but it takes time and patience for
You
you.
gotta have
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, he's been, it's been a learning experience for sure, but yeah, what I want to find next is like find a baseball field or something that's fenced in, that doesn't have a lot going on that I can take him to. I think after being here, I've realized that I need to find that place, because here he can get into a
Oh.
lot of trouble.
Oh, God, yes.
But if I can find an open field that is
Mm.
enclosed, so I know if I can't get to him, at least he's not going to go out into the woods or
No, I
something.
know what you mean. Yeah.
And like I can work with him out there
Sure.
because currently there's no place for that really.
No, I understand. Yeah.
So you know,
Well,
I
what
need to find a field where I can do that. That's a safe place.
Well, I'll tell you, just to do one thing, you
You
walk
did
with
that.
them like that, and then you stop as they sit, or stay.
Stay.
You just then don't let him off the lead. Then say, okay. And then you walk again, stop again. Next thing you know, he'll get it as soon as you say
Yeah.
stop. Boom,
He
he's
does
down.
it. So I've trained him to whenever we get on the elevator, he sits. He knows every time, and he knows whenever we get to our door, he sits because
There you
sometimes
go.
I'm carrying groceries or whatever. I don't need him tugging or like someone. So he's starting to get that. Like he's
Yeah.
getting that. There's certain cues where he gets somewhere and
Sure.
he
It
just
just
does
takes,
that now. You know.
takes a lot of patience on your side there
Yeah.
to do it. But you,
Because see,
you'll
I
get
used
it.
to
You
walk
keep
them up to
working.
the mailbox, but I didn't want them on the road. So when
That
I
was
got up,
something.
see, got up halfway, and then say, sit, stay, and I'd start to walk. I'd turn around. You were told to stay, stay. Then he'd get down, till I got the mail, and then come back. Then tell him it was okay,
Mm-hmm.
because they're gonna get killed up here.
We practice sit and stay a lot in my apartment building. Like I have the hallways are like 100, 200 feet long.
Yeah.
So I'll walk him to the one end of the apartment building. I'll make him sit and stay. I'll take the lead off, walk completely to the other end, and he'll sit there stone
Oh,
cold.
that's great.
And then I say, "Come," and he bolts it to me.
That's
But it's like when it's inside a house, he does it, or inside of a building. I guess he feels like it's more. There's no
Secure.
distraction.
Do you
Be
give him a
secure.
treat when he comes? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
When he comes,
I
then
give him a
you
treat when he comes. I'll give him a treat when I make him stay. Like we'll be in the kitchen. I'll be cooking or something.
Well,
I'll
you're
tell him to
doing
sit
good.
and stay.
You're doing very good.
But it's just Rome wasn't built in a day. You gotta
It's just a
You
you
year.
gotta work on
Just-
them. I know that in another year we're gonna be where we want. But
I'm
It's
sure you
just
will.
It's
I
just-
mean,
Sure you
just
will.
a
Takes time.
year.
Yeah.
and that's what I'm hoping for. Even if Jess and I rent a place this coming year, I'm hoping that it's not in a high rise. I hope that we can rent like a house or rent somewhere that has a yard where I can go out in the yard without a leash and train him like on a whim. It's not a
Yeah.
huge. I don't have to get in a car and drive somewhere 15, 20 minutes away to go
No.
like
I
train
know
the
what
dog.
you
You
mean.
know?
Pain in the
Yeah.
neck.
Yeah.
So, but he's been good and very good for the apartment. Like
Yeah.
he's a good apartment. I mean, he's very good in houses and stuff. So.
Where'd you get him to start with?
So we got him from a puppy store, but I got him from there because I'm allergic to dogs. I'm allergic to labs. I'm
Are you
allergic.
really?
Yes, I'm allergic to.
The dandruff.
Yeah, I was allergic to I was allergic to Barney. I was allergic to Barkley. I'm allergic to like Simba and all those dogs. I just get really itchy eyes and runny nose, and my skin gets irritated.
How about
So
that?
yeah, I mean I
it's
love
always
them. I
been
love the
that way.
dogs, but that's just the way it is. So when Jess and I were looking to get dogs, I was like, we need a dog I'm not allergic to, like because I want a dog, but it's tough. So we found out that I found a list of like 10 dogs that were quote unquote hyperallergenic, and started looking for dogs that were smaller, looking
Yeah.
for dogs that were had the right kind of behavior tendencies that we wanted, and started calling around to see where I could find it, And there was a breeder, but there was like a 6-month waiting list to potentially get a litter, and she was local, and the rest of the ones you have to go like to Kingdom Come to get, and we found him down the street.
That's
So-
great.
Here we
Yeah.
are, yeah.
You're
So-
doing
Did
very
very
well.
well.
So we're talking about range of danger.
Yeah.
He's
gonna
very
pack-
gentle with Jess too, walking,
gonna
right?
pack up
He's
the
not
camera.
jerking you around or nothing.
Yeah, I mean we're working on not getting so excited about like leaves that are flying in the wind
Yeah,
or like
Yes.
yeah.
squirrels or
It's all new though, It's all new, Jess.
yeah.
And the thing, that's what Pop was just saying. He's only a year.
Yeah.
Look at how well behaved he is.
I know.
Well, we try, right, Ranger? We try. Is this your box?
You do very well,
Is this
very
your box?
well. He's a good little guy.
Yeah, he is. I love him.
I was telling him
Yeah.
about Pat and Phil's dog, 4 years old. She still, instead of giving the dog, like, we say, here's a biscuit or here's a treat or something else, she'd come over and drops it and he's snapping. You know, and she said it to me different times, don't, you know, be careful if you wanna give him some. Well, if I go to give him some, I'm gonna smack him in the head
Yeah.
Yeah.
if he goes to do that. But that's not good,
Mm-hmm.
because she has other people around too that wanna give him something, and he's out of control. The woman that come and clean for me, Erica, right? Erica said that she'd let him he got loose and he runs the whole place and runs away from Phil. She said I'd let him run and never get him back
Yeah.
because he's not good, not well behaved.
Yeah, thankfully he's not a biter.
Well, he would be if you didn't
No, he's good with,
be
yeah.
gentle with